Hello, everyone! We're back! My brain doesn't feel like it wants to jump out of my head. And as always, I am joined by the amazing Brandi. Brandi, how have you been?
Better than you. My brain continues to stay inside of my head. So that's
That
the
is
good part.
good. Yes, now the lovely curse of migraine headaches. Torture. Kind of like Sparky Boom Man here, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Uh, Hopefully you all had a great break, Thanksgiving or otherwise. I know we have international folks, so hope we had a nice week of I guess November instead of Thanksgiving. But yeah, no, we're back and we're talking about the beach,
Mhm.
which should be a fun one. I have opinions. I'm sure you have opinions, and we all are just going to have a grand old time discussing those.
All right,
But
sounds good.
I figure we'll start it as we start all of them with the episode recap. Season 3 so far, not bad. Way better than seasons 1 and 2 pretty much combined as far as their episode recaps go.
Oh,
From
okay. I was like, what? Hold up. That's a bold statement, Katie. And then you
No,
tacked
no,
on
no,
the
no, no.
episode recaps, and I was like, oh, okay.
No. Our recaps are incredible. The
No,
Paramount
no,
one.
no, no. I just thought you meant like episodes in general. And I was like, excuse me?
No.
Those are fighting words.
Yes. Oh, I would have to fight myself, which my brain already tried to do. So we'll just keep on that track.
All right, yes, the recaps have been better. The
Episode
recaps have
recaps.
been better.
Yes, but as always, Brandi comes prepared with the episode recap that typically, actually every single time, tops them by far. So, and we have Louise X Sparrow in the comments. What's up? Good to
Hello.
see you here. So we'll start out with the episode recap from Paramount Plus that says Zuko, Azula, May, and Ty Lee go on vacation at Lo and Lee's beach house where they learn a lot about themselves and each other. Meanwhile, the kids face a new enemy. It's kind of wordy.
I don't think that you can get
Eh.
away with it out it being wordy, because now I feel like mine's wordy.
Well, like, just there's a lot of names.
There are a lot of names. I feel like the Lee and Lo can be like taken out,
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
what
not
made
just
it
like
really
them
feel.
staying at their house. It's just they happen, like they're staying at Ember
Yeah,
Island.
yeah.
So yeah. All
It's like
right,
they could have just replaced Lee and Lo's house or Lo and Lee's house with Ember Island.
something like that. All right, this is what I have. Kind of
Yes.
similar, which makes me scared. But here we go. Sent away on vacation, Azula, Zuko, May, and Ty Lee bond while struggling to fit in with people their age. Meanwhile, the Avatar is discovered to be alive.
Oh. Now see, okay. See, this is where yours diverges. It's very concise. That it's not wordy, it's concise. So instead of being like Zuko, Azula, May, and Ty Lee go on vacation to Lo and Lee's beach house where they learn, and it's like a run-on sentence. Yours makes sense. So definitely, again, several rungs farther up the ladder with yours.
Thank you.
Bravo,
Thank you.
internet clap. Hooray. No, I do. I actually really enjoy the part where you were like, and the Avatar is alive. It's like, woo!
Yeah, because like up until this point, the Fire Nation is just like, oh yeah, he's gone.
There's have you ever seen Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yes.
So you know the song where they're just like, there's one more angel in heaven. There's
Yes.
one more star in the sky. It's like that's literally the entire Fire Nation army right now. So they're just like, oh, he's dead, not our problem. And if any of you haven't seen that, watch the Donny Osmond version. I'm pretty sure it's actually still free on YouTube because they released it during the pandemic as a re-release. And it's amazing. But yeah. So we can just jump right into things. I was waiting for the Facebook page to load, which if any of you are not familiar, there is a Facebook page called Every Avatar Frame in Order. And they mean it.
They mean it.
Like,
They mean it.
Honestly impressive. I'll share the screen here so you guys can see it. For this episode, they have every frame that happens. Like, if you go fast enough, you can just watch the episode by doing a flip book version of this. And I've been trying to get back to the start, but it's literally like loading maybe 12 at a time. And so it's just
It takes a while.
there has to be a more efficient way to get every frame. There has to be. But it's great because it's like actually a full-sized frame and not the
Mhm.
fuzzy garbage that I have. No, I clicked off that page. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Okay, okay, we're good, we're good. Okay.
Oh no.
You almost saw a grown woman cry, everyone. We're safe. I honestly was just trying to get back to the part where they're like, the start of the episode, we're going on vacation, because I could not for the life of me find a picture of them on that boat together, being like,
Yeah.
we're going off to
Being all
Ember Island.
grouchy.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Have you ever, like, came across 4 teens that weren't excited to go to the beach?
I know. And it's like, it's not just the beach, it is the beach.
Yeah.
Not to sound like an Ohio State fan, but it's like this is like the vacation destination.
Yeah, they're
of the
not
Fire
going to
Nation.
Indiana Dunes. They're going to, like, the beach. I said what I said.
But Indiana Dunes is a barbecue place. That's what makes it the best.
You take one look at Lake Michigan and you go, "Nope."
You turn to the left, there's a nuclear reactor. You turn to the right, there's a nuclear reactor. And you look at the water and you think, that's probably not safe. Oh. Yeah, no, Emperor Island, it does look beautiful. And I can say that because I have an image of it to show for you guys. But as like for scene design, I do enjoy being able to see, not just rocky cliffs and the kids are off fighting or this and this and this. It's like, yeah, show me their leisure areas. Show me how they relax. And as a scientist, they have the black sand.
They do have
which
the black
it,
sand.
volcanic. It's so cool. I love it. Yeah, but no, I mean, this does look like where the rich people would vacation, like Cape Cod,
Yeah.
Martha's Vineyard. Ah, yes. The lovely episode where we find out how royal are they? Which turns out they're not very if they're getting shoved away for meetings and things.
Well,
Which
like, oh, okay. I thought you
what
were
of
gonna
it?
be like, since like the rest of the people don't know who they are.
Oh no, yeah, no, that's just teens being teens and being like,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just teens being teens.
yes. Well, and it's just the start of the episode too. It's like father has an important business meeting or a war meeting, and he just wants to
Yeah.
send us away. I mean, it's a problem you don't usually think of when you think of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and like, oh yeah, they had this problem while they were battling
I like
this.
to think that Ozai just like he just doesn't like looking at Zuko, so he's like, I'll send Zuko away. And then also he got really used to like not dealing with Azula's like, I don't know, attitude. So he was like, I'll send her away too.
They're back in the house, and I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. Like he enjoyed his time without any children.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, I was an empty nester once, and I am happy to be an empty nester again.
Mhm.
But like, my question for you is, because I could have asked the internet, but why not? I could ask Brandi. Like, it's perfect. Are they related at all to
There's a
them?
theory. There's a theory.
Good. Because I'm like,
I think
it's
we
pretty
may
random
have
to be
talked
like,
about it before.
oh, probably.
But yeah, there's a theory that they are related. And
It's
it's
like,
pretty solid too.
you could send them away to anyone, anywhere, and it's like, you know what? We're gonna send them with the old ladies, and that house has to smell like old people.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
it just. Mm.
You don't have a seashell printed sofa without it smelling like old lady.
I can smell this episode.
Mhm.
It's I
Mhm.
do. I love how relatable it is because there's nothing relatable between me and Azula.
Yeah.
Other than like manic episodes, but otherwise, there's nothing. And this is finally like, hey, look, yeah, they just go to old ladies' houses,
Yep.
hooray! And
Yep.
appreciating like the scene design too.
It's like when you get shipped off to like visit your great aunt who you've only met once. And you're just
Yes,
like, okay. And there's all like these breakable like little things. So you're like, I can't
I can
touch
smell the
anything.
innocence from here.
I can't do anything.
Yes. No, but it's like the designers, they took their time. They gave him like this little stained glass row up here. They got some tapestry artwork. They got couches.
They got
You know,
couches.
the works. But Just the reaction. It's so
Yeah.
teenage.
I do have
'Cause
one question for you.
yes.
This episode in general, how do you feel about it?
I the same as I feel with the opening scene. I think it's kind of funny,
Yeah.
and I think it needed to happen too. 'Cause
Yeah, I can agree with
the
that.
angst was building and
Mhm.
building, and it's like it finally has to come to a crashing point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, what about you?
I think I could just take, like, the campfire scene and get rid of everything else. Like, everything else is just kind
Really?
of yeah. Like,
So
I
that
don't
is what you meant
know.
by, "Let's get this episode over with."
Yeah, because I was like, I just wanna move on.
Really? I'm over here like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look at the cute little designs and this," and you're just like, please, 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 no."
No, it's fine. Like, you pointing out those little things, I was like, "Okay, alright, I should stop being grouchy."
No,
Um,
no. I mean, if you want us to help with that, I mean, you could always just enjoy this one part of the episode. Because their faces. Why are their faces the way that they are? Like, oh no, it won't let me zoom in. Ah, there we go. There we go. Like that's not normal. That actually, that's if there's any evidence supporting that they're like grandparents or adjacently related, that's about the face that Azula makes, and that's probably what she'll make when she's older too.
yep.
Yeah. No, I do like the humor in this one. Just with
Yeah, like,
Zuko.
I think that I never realized that he was about to barf. I just remember, like, May, like, blocking his eyes and being like, "No."
And the range of emotions here, because you have May who's just like, I'm not impressed. Zuko wanting to barf. To Ty Lee just going, I didn't know our butts could be shaped like that. To Azula just being like, dear Lord, why did Father send us here?
Yeah, yeah. I think you read those correctly. Um, yeah,
Like
like,
I'll
I don't know.
find
I just find it kind of annoying the way that Azula acts. Like, I think that this is the
really.
beginning of her downfall. Like, this is where she begins to slip.
Mm.
So, that's,
Oh,
like,
hmm.
one reason why I like this episode, but it's just like, once it's, like, completely taken away that nobody knows who she is and, like, they have no reason to respect her, like, she just, like, is having this identity crisis, and I'm just like, "Ugh, I can't deal with your crap right now, Azula."
We gotta invade the Fire Nation in a few
Yeah,
weeks.
I'm like, "Now is not the time. You are not the main character."
Marcus Aurelius agrees. Keep being grouchy.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just don't care for this episode. This is actually one of the only episodes that I didn't watch when it first aired.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, we were
Were you going
moving.
to a funeral or something? Something
No,
kept
we
you
were
from it?
moving states, and
Oh,
so I missed
okay.
it, and it never got replayed. Like, I could never catch it,
Really?
so I didn't watch it until I got the complete season on DVD, and
Oh
that's when I
my
watched it for the
gosh.
first time. Yeah, I was, like, watching them, and I was, like it was, like, build maybe that's why I don't like it, because I had to, like, build this episode into being something else, and then,
Oh
like,
no.
I'm, like, watching the episodes in session on DVD, and, like, I get to it, and I'm just like, That's the one that I missed? That's the one that I missed?"
Yeah.
So
Wait,
maybe
so
that's why I don't like it, I don't know.
what were like 2 questions really. What were
Yeah.
you expecting for the first one?
I just remember, like, it being called The Beach and just being like, I don't know, that sounds kind of interesting, and I think I knew that it was also, like, Azula and Zuko focused, so, like, they were the A
Mhm.
plot, and so I was like, "Okay, that's gonna" I think building off of, like, what Zuko alone is and everything like that, like, "Oh, that's gonna be really good," and it just ends up being them, like, on also, I don't like the beach, so
Oh no. Wait, you're telling me this after I dragged you to the dunes.
Yeah, but we did that for, like, a video project, which I was more than happy to do. Um
Wait, was you were with us when we took Brandon up to the watchtower, right? And we didn't have any cell service? Or
No.
Brendan? Okay, see,
No.
that almost made me hate the beach. We we were trying to use our live view, and we couldn't get a signal, so we had to climb to the top of the watchtower.
I do remember that. I remember being back in the control room, and we were like, "What are we gonna
Oh,
do? What are we gonna do?" We were like, "I don't know. We'll figure it out."
improv. Toss it to
Improv.
weather. They can have a 6-minute weather hit.
I'm pretty certain that that's what we did.
Well, no, because like based on that, did it at all affect you going forward watching the rest of the episodes before watching the beach? Like, were you confused at any bits? Because now I'm thinking back on it. This is
No,
a throwaway episode,
this is
really.
100% a throwaway episode.
Like,
And like I think it is interesting, like jumping ahead to like the fire scene, which is really the
uh-huh.
meat and potatoes of this
Yeah.
episode. Like the whole like May kind of talking about why she is the way that she is, and Tylee talking about the way that she is. I like that because those are two characters that we don't really know a whole lot. Like, and that gives them kind of like this nice like little like magnifying glass on them and be like, okay, like that kind of like fleshes out their character. But I can't say that the way that Zuko is feeling is no more
Yeah.
than like what we already know and what we can already like
Yeah.
gather. And then like Azula has like this brief moment where she's like, you know, my own mother thought that I was a monster and blah 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 blah. And then like she immediately just like switches it off. She's like, she was right, but it still hurt.
Yeah.
And so like
Yes.
that moment I think is good too. Like this whole scene, fantastic. But it's
Mhm.
only like what, 3 minutes? If that?
It is
So
pretty
then
fast.
it's just like what were we doing? And then the way that they end it, they just go back to that party and they're just like they're the bullies and it's just like this is how we're ending it. This is we've done all this
Oh,
emotional work and we're just going to go back and just kind of like you know, whatever. Like they're 16, you know,
why not?
16, 14, whatever. So it's fine.
If
But
I had the power of bombs in my hands, I would do the same.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's such a throwaway. I'm going to say this and the internet can come after me. But if given the opportunity to watch this episode or The Great Divide, I will pick The Great Divide every single time.
Brandy.
Every single
What?
time.
Oh my, Corey Cochran, you came in at an interesting point. Yeah. To each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
But okay, but we get angsty Zuko throwing a towel with seagulls in it, like in the frame.
I don't
Eventually,
need the
like
anime moment. I'm sorry. Ooh.
the people respect it. The people respect.
Listen, I get it. The people do respect this episode. Okay? And I can respect that the people respect that. But at the same time, once you boil it down, it's nothing.
Now, it could have honestly been something if they took a different track for the end of like Avatar. If they didn't have Zuko like scooting out on them and like joining the gang, this could have been the Zang or something like Zuko Azula gang. I actually like that, the Zang.
The Zang.
Like you get this is like you get to see a different group of kids working together on par with the strengths of the gang. So as a kid, that's kind of what I was thinking they were going to do with this before Zuko had his whole "I'm angry at myself" thing. So I would have loved to have seen them expand more on them causing chaos together. And that's why I like this episode too. It's like
I do think that
teenagers.
is nice that they're like kind of together, and I think it is very sweet that like because I was thinking about this. Zuko, like we don't see any of his friends in the Fire Nation.
True.
Like where are so you know, it's just like he comes back. All he really had was his mother. She's gone. Uncle Iroh. He thinks that Uncle Iroh is mad at him, like furious at him. So it's just like he literally has no one. So I think that it is very sweet that Azula's like, all right, come on. And I guess May and him are dating at this point, but still, like,
And that their relationship, digging more into it, because we learn more about it coming up in the next few episodes, but it felt so unhealthy when they started this season.
Mhm.
Like, they were together because they were mad at everyone else. Like, that's not how you do that. I've not dated anyone since high school, but that's not how you do that. See, Marcus, it really says the right idea. The beach needs more buff Iroh. If
This
Iroh
is
was
true.
there, he would have kept the PDA to a minimum.
Yep.
PDA being public display of affection, because I didn't understand acronyms in middle school, and I learned about that way later in life than I should have. So for anyone, PDA, public display of affection.
I mean, obviously we don't know why they started their relationship, but I think it's just like May finally had like the opportunity to be like, here's my childhood crush. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. You know, she's having like this like little girl moment. Um and yeah, and I think what is interesting about this is that like May, I think, is very used to being like the one that's like closed off and everything like this. And I think Zuko's kind of doing almost the same thing. Like obviously he's very angry and stuff like that, but I think he's trying to like contain it too much. And then like that just causes like these little instances throughout the episode where it's just like they're not getting along.
Mhm.
And so like May being able to just be like, okay, we're done. We're through. Like if this is how you're going to act, like I don't know. Like I think that that's interesting.
Mhm. Well, and bringing it back to them having that childhood crush, it does make me think, like, what was she doing the whole time Zuko was in exile? Did she ever think she would see him again? Did she ever think that any of this would happen again? And
Mhm.
so I think, yeah, when he comes back, they kind of revert back to where they were as kids, when they don't realize they've each grown over the
Yeah.
past few years. So that is realistic. I will give the writers that.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that Zuko had a crush on May?
I think it was there. I don't think it was as much as her.
Yeah.
Kinda like how, like, Azula realized it before Zuko did, sort of a thing.
Mm. Mm.
Because that's exactly what would happen with me. I would have been like, "Hey, wait, I have a crush on someone?"
Yeah.
Oh, and that is nice that, well, I won't say nice, because nice and Azula shouldn't go in the same sentence,
No.
but
No, never.
it's nice that Azula kind of leaves them alone for the
Mhm.
most part. Like, she pokes fun at, Ty Lee, like, "Ah, circus freak in this," but she doesn't really say anything about, like, "Oh, the gloomy goth couple," or, like,
Uh, yeah, but I think the reason
she
why Azula doesn't poke fun at them and is really, like, focusing mainly on Ty Lee is because Ty Lee is kind of, like, being, like, idolized in a way that Azula, I think, is used to being idolized back in, like, the capital city. 'Cause
Mm,
you know that if she's, like,
right.
walking down then, you know, everybody's just going to come and talk to her and stuff like that, and, like,
Mhm,
Tylee wouldn't get any of the attention because
mhm,
she's with Azula, and so
mm,
now that is kind of turned, and it's not so much about titles, but, like and I don't even think it's about looks, I think it's just about, like, being approachable,
mhm,
and
yeah,
and so, like, you know, having all these guys go after Tylee, like, that's, like, why Azula primarily goes after her, is
mhm.
because Azula's used to being, you know, in the light and stuff like that, and so it just bothers her that nobody else is like, "Oh my gosh, Princess Azula, blah, 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 blah."
Mm. Well, I that is another thing that I wish they would have shown more in this season. I didn't realize I wanted it until rewatching this, was them being normal. And not just,
Mhm,
like, on a vacation where people won't know them, but, like, them being normal in their normal daily lives, walking around, interacting with other teenagers in the capital. Like,
yeah,
I want that interpersonal, like, backstory almost.
mhm.
We get a little taste of it, but now I crave more.
I think that that would be interesting because we do get that with, like, the gang.
Mhm,
We don't see him so much just, like, you know, interacting with, like, people outside of like, friends outside of the group besides, like, you know, Suki and stuff like that. But we do see them like going about like day-to-day things or like for whatever reason I'm thinking of like the episode like the fortune teller where they're just like in that city or in
Yes.
that town and they're just interacting with like a bunch of different people. And so it's like, yes, he's the avatar, but a lot of times they don't realize that he's the avatar.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that would have been interesting to
Yeah.
see.
Well, then you get the town, you get Kyoshi, where they do know he's the avatar, and he's just going around shopping and doing these things. Like, yeah, we get to see all sides of their interactions.
Mhm.
They still have some cast in shadows for the Zang, as I'm now going to call it, and no one can stop me. The Zang, Zuko Azula gang, the Zang. Um, well, and if we talk more about the Lighthearted stuff, I do think that this episode does add important emotional context because
Mhm.
we see Zuko going back to the house and we see him in these flashbacks, which they haven't really done in the series up to this point. I thought that was an interesting directorial choice on how
Mhm.
to convey information, but we get to see child Zuko
Mhm.
and what his life was like before. And I think that does give a little bit more, I guess, drama, more heft to how he's feeling now that he's back. Because we get to see Iroh and Lupin and Zuko and just
Yeah.
it's sad. This adds the emotional weight that the episode was lacking.
Yes, I will have to agree. And I think, and as I was rewatching, it was a thought that hadn't really occurred to me because I always kind of thought that like he was upset, Zuko was upset because he like came back to the Fire Nation and like he didn't get his dad back and you know, he doesn't think he'll ever get his mom back or anything. Like he just doesn't have that family that he wants and that like his honor's been restored, but it's not what he thought it would be. But I think in my recent rewatch, I realized that he probably isn't so upset about where he's at in terms of like with Ozai and even Azula. He's upset with where he's at with Iroh.
Mhm.
Because that's like kind of what he's like. I think about this image primarily with like Iroh and little baby Zuko and stuff like that. Like he's upset about losing that relationship because he probably thinks that he has, given how like their last conversation is gone and everything like that. And so I think that's why he's so built up. It's not so much about his dad. I think it's mostly about Iroh.
Yeah. No, and it's true because when you're at the beach and he's just that huge flame up, he's like, I'm angry at myself, and that it is not because of like anything other than Iroh.
Mhm.
Like, he's wondering, did I make the right choice? Like Uncle Iroh has been there for him, and he just saved the Avatar. So what do I like? I trusted him. Am I in the wrong?
Yeah.
So that internal crisis, yeah, percolating. Oh, hell, I've been here 10 minutes, but my chat window wouldn't go show. No worries, Time Prophet. I love our shadow viewers. Uh,
Mhm.
you lurk, and I do the same. So relatable. Yes. Now this image, and as a kid, I always thought that Zuko was the big one, and that was Azula who was the baby.
Yeah.
And then I found out that's not the case.
No, that's
Through
Iroh.
various internet forums. So yeah, but I mean, to touch on it with Marcus Aurelius, he was kind of buff here. He's not
Yeah.
swole, but
Yeah,
he's got muscle.
this is also like one of the only times that we've ever seen Lieutenant.
Yes. Yep. We see his picture in Ba Sing Se, and we
Mhm.
see him in this flashback.
Yep. And that's it.
Sad.
That's it. The writers
He should
really
be in his
messed
own
up
right.
on that one.
What if okay, what if the writers decided to, like, he's not dead? You pull a jet and you're like, "Oh, yeah, no, you thought he died, but he didn't."
No. No,
There were
no. He's gone.
trauma.
He's gone. He's gone. The trauma on us as viewers.
True, yeah. What if he just shows up from around the corner? He's like, "Hello, father." Actually, no, oh, if they had
He
a
shows
scene.
he shows up and he's like, my birthright is to be Fire Lord, and Zuko has to deal with that.
Oh! There you go, it writes itself. No, but I would love to have seen a scene with Iroh and Muten in the spirit realm.
Yeah.
That would have. Oh, Korra was right there.
It was right there. But I don't think when people die in this universe, I don't think they go to the spirit world unless they're like the Avatar or unless they like transcend or whatever you want to call it, like Iroh did.
Yeah, maybe his son was spiritual mumbo jumbo like him. Who knows? Either way, I want Force Ghost Lieutenant.
Force Ghost Lieutenant.
But yeah, and it does that image, like, it's the way that they drew it, it's warm, it's kind of dim, like it's been aged for a little bit, but it's a general happy sense. And then you get the flashes, or not even the flashes, you get to see the picture where he's looking at his picture and he has a completely different emotional recollection that he throws it in a fire. So it does show very subtly and without even stating it that he prefers Iroh over his family because his brain, even subconsciously, like, prefers those memories versus these ones.
Yeah.
I like that. I would have ripped out the mom's face and been like, okay, you're coming with me, and then burned everything else. But yeah, if anything from this episode, the last 15 minutes, I think, are probably, for me, the most important. Well, and also, we got to introduce Sparky Boom Man.
Sparky Boom Man, yeah.
So if we are ready to shift gears into that, because it is a pretty abrupt change. They're both at beaches, but
tonally, yeah. Well, no, I think the gang isn't like in a beach. They're like in a hot spring or something.
They made their own.
They made their own.
Being from Michigan, that is a beach.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll give it to you.
Because I went up to Mackinac recently with a meteorologist that I used to work with in Sioux City. I was like, oh yeah, we'll go to the beach. And it's pebbles. It's all rocks. And he kind of looked at me, he's like, this is the beach? And I was like, there's no sand on Mackinac Island. It's rocks. We're in Lake Huron, bud. Like, this isn't the beach. So they're at the Michigan beach. Everyone else is at the regular beach. But
what I love is that Toph is the one that's like, hey, you don't have your clothes on. Like, what if somebody sees you? And everybody else is like, it's fine.
Yeah, we've done this a million times.
Also, Sokka does. I don't think he's in this episode. He doesn't really make an appearance. I guess he's flying. He's flying Appa, but he literally says nothing. Like, no, there are no lines from Sokka in this episode.
There are no Sokka lines?
I don't think so. Or maybe
when they from the sleeping bag.
He's like, who's that? No, because they wake up and
on the when the light shines on it.
I don't know. I don't think Sokka says anything. I think Katara has all the lines.
Watching this 5 minutes before I sent you the link for her to join. How did?
I don't think he says anything.
Well, I guess he got the week off.
Yeah, good for him. He probably deserves it.
Okay, we're gonna do a side tangent because I freaking forgot it last time. And
yes.
Talking about the okay.
Yes.
Hi everyone. Here's the turtle duck update for anyone who's new here or who doesn't realize. Brandi and I, when we were at C2E2, we bought these turtle ducks because the actors were there, and I didn't want to have a million photos to hang up on my wall of their autographs. So got the turtle duck, and I've been collecting autographs ever since. So as we go through, we have to Katie, Yip Yip. That's from Zach, who voiced Aang. Then we have Sokka's voice actress, Water Tribe. Loving the boomerang illustration. And then a few weeks ago, I met Mae Whitman. And she wrote, Katie, I believe Aang can save the world, which I did not tell her to do. I haven't told any of them to write any quotes. They just did that on their own. I'm like, bless your souls. So yeah, that was really cool. It was nice to meet her. Apparently she likes Michigan football. So nice. Or she's just trying to get more money from us. And then the other ones, just to round it all out, Just Take the Bear. That's from Cricket Lee, who voices May. She is actually sweet, and she is a what is it? A marriage therapist. No, they have an official title, but she just helps with marriages. And could you imagine having the voice actress of May as your therapist? I would love it. But yes, then We got Zuko Honor. And then my favorite of them all, for many reasons, is Jason Isaacs as Zhao saying, "Love and luck."
Love and luck.
Yeah, that's actually honestly perfect. So we've now added to the collection, and thank you for mentioning the actors, because I would have completely forgotten it. It's
I try.
I need you, Brandi. You are my Spock. You remind me of things that really need to be done. Oh, let's see. Time Prophet says, how did your brother like being the Avatar? He choked on his water when he saw it. Brandi, have you seen that image?
No.
Okay, let me find it.
Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No. Time Prophet. Oh, where'd it go? Where did it go? So Time Prophet made an edit for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was my birthday. It was around the time of my birthday. It wasn't even before my birthday, was it? It has no meaning anymore. Anyway, how do I find my profile? Oh, X is stupid, by the way. It's in my
You heard it
replies.
here first, folks.
It is. It's so stupid. No, I've just been replying with mostly memes. I gotta get past all the memes. Brandi, anything to say while I'm looking for this?
Eat your vegetables so you can eat more pie. That's all I have to say.
Or eat less vegetables so you can fit in more pie.
So you can fit in
Let
more pie.
me see if I can find time. Hold on. Okay, well, while I look that up, I do want to mention Aang swimming here. Click. Momo's a cat. And no one can tell me otherwise.
Nope, Momo is a cat. I think Momo, like the inspiration for Momo came from one of the creators' cats. I'm pretty certain.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Or one of their friends who had a cat. Like, yeah, like Momo is a cat. There's no denying.
Oh, and we find out apparently that Aang's tattoos stop at his armpit.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't realize that. I thought they tied in on his back.
No. No, because there's nothing. There's no like arrow going in from like the shoulder blades to the back. So they wrap around into the armpit.
Interesting. Okay, wait. I found Time Prophet. One moment. Oh gosh, you reply in memes too. This is great. It's almost here. It's almost here. There's a picture of it. There it is.
The anticipation is killing me.
It was November 14th, so it was not for my birthday. But oh gosh. There we go.
I didn't see this at all.
I loved this. And my brother, because we were together, we were like at our house for Thanksgiving when, well, he came home early. But anyway, he saw this and he's like, how does he know who I am?
How
was like,
does he know who I am?
I don't know. So apparently we don't have a Sokka in the group, so we got to add our own Sokka.
Apparently not.
But yes, I 100% look like a pretty convincing Katara there.
Yeah.
And you look like an amazing Toph, by the way.
Thanks. It's the round face.
It's the look of, I'm ready to kick some butt.
But mostly the round face.
That was something that I thought of in the episode, because when Azula's at the party and she's like, oh, you should be careful because you could sink a whole Fire Navy warship with that.
Careful, Chan. That outfit will sink a whole Imperial, I don't know, Fire Nation ship because it's so sharp.
I'm like, hun, you're talking about sharp. Look at your chin.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's an ice pick. Oh gosh. No, I focus a lot on like the character design too, subconsciously apparently. But the angular faces of most in the Fire Nation. Even Ty Lee, who has a more well-rounded face, still has a very pointed angle. Whereas if you look at Katara and Toph and Aang, it's kind of more smooth rather than points. So genetics are playing a role now. Yes. I want to know what freakish genetics came together for Sparky Sparky Boom Man, though. Like, what's his story? His mother was a witch and his father was a firebender?
He's okay with that now. Who knows?
Now, this guy still scares me to this day. As a kid, didn't like him. Yeah, I don't like the episodes with him in it. Just because he's so creepy. And his daughter's weird, too. I'll say that.
I don't think it's his daughter, is it?
Is it not his daughter?
No, I just think it's somebody else who knows combustion bending.
Would they have a cult or something? Actually, that would
maybe.
make sense.
Probably. I don't know. I never got that was his daughter.
Chat, what do you think? I need to know. Because I always thought like he had some sort of like daughter, and the reason he was doing all this vigilante work was to support his family, and I had a nice backstory built up.
Well, Aang dies like when he's 70 or something.
Yeah.
Which is like 60 years after the show, and he dies here. So unless she uses some amazing moisturizer.
she didn't do whatever Hama did, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I don't think it's his daughter. It could be maybe like a granddaughter, I suppose. And he does have a family. However, I don't think they're related at all. I think they just use the same type of bending.
Well, time to Google.
Time to Google.
Yeah, what did I walk into? You're right, Corey. Let's see. If Aang died when he was 70, why is there no statues of him older? Because everyone loves him when he was younger.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, I can't use David Tennant because David Tennant's been immortal since he turned 20. Has not changed. Who do we like better when they're younger? I don't know. I still like him, but Macaulay Culkin. If there was a statue of Macaulay Culkin, it would be of him from Home Alone, I think. So maybe it's like that for Aang. Who knows? But yes, we get this lovely battle with Sparky Sparky Boom Man, and is this even the image I'm looking for? It's so small I can't tell. Oh yes, his hawk. That's a battle hawk. That's what Sokka wants. They somehow built an American eagle in. Yeah.
I have a question for you. Was he tracking the Avatar and he was just that close? Or was this bird like going out and taking every single messenger hawk that was out there, intercepting messages so that he could then figure out where the Avatar was?
I mean, if I'm a vigilante and I see a black ribbon, I would train my bird to go get any black ribbons.
He's not a vigilante. He's like a bounty hunter. I think those two completely different things.
Yeah, bounty hunter. Dark sides, different angles, though.
Dark sides, different angles.
But yeah, no, if I was a bounty hunter and I wanted to find more information, like the black label seems like a pretty urgent, look at me, I have important information kind of way of flagging things. So I think maybe, yeah, he was looking for a side quest and just it happened to be the Avatar.
Well,
he had to have been close to the area because if he shows up that night, he must have already been on their tail at least.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, it's kind of good that like he stopped that message, right?
Oh wait, yeah. Because now it's like because they find out the Avatar's alive. But it's only the three of them, him and the people who sent it.
Yeah, and like those two people in like the outposts, nobody's gonna believe them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We saw the Avatar come down a water slide.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Lee.
Yeah, whatever you say. Get him some vacation time.
He gets permanent vacation time because he got fired.
Yes. Now, I do want to know, do you know what kind of animal that is? Because I feel like it's maybe a hawk mixed with a turkey.
I mean, yeah, it's probably like a turkey vulture mixed with another type of bird, I'm sure. Or even a hawk. I don't know. It has a name. Let's see here.
Okay.
Not like a
Paul.
name, but like
Yeah.
they call it something.
My name is Paul. I fetch black ribbons for a bounty hunter, and this is my talent.
Hi, Paul.
Time Prophet says it could be a hawk, but it can't be just a hawk. It has to be a mix because Bosco's the only plain animal they have. At least I think. Not sure. But yes,
Oh,
we get the hawk, we get an intro.
The voice actor. Wait, hold on. The voice actor, which I assume just means that he's like making grunts, is Greg Baldwin, the same guy that does Iroh. There we go.
No
We
way!
learned something. Yep, we learned something. I'm about to sneeze as I look for this hawk
Bless you.
information. It's past. It's past. It's like, never mind. Not today. Maybe later.
I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Time Prophet says, I know hawks are used to spot things, but it looks very like a vulture. So it's a vulture hawk. That works. But yes, okay. I found the
It's a
gift finally. I had
raven
to sort
eagle.
through. Raven
Sorry.
eagle.
It's a raven eagle.
Okay, I'll take that. Philadelphia mixed with the Ravens. Yeah. Football joke.
I don't football think at all. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Anyway, yes, I like this battle of everything in this episode. As fun as I think it is to just see the kids be normal, the silence. It's not like the like there's no background music.
Yeah.
I loved that choice.
I find it very interesting that the location is very similar to where he battles Ozai.
I was wondering if there was a theory on that or if it was confirmed that this is where they battle Ozai.
This is not where they battle Ozai. They're in the Fire Nation and he battles Ozai in the Earth Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like so similar. And
there's like, this is such a good set, we have to reuse it.
Maybe. I don't know. But even like, I don't know, some of the tactics that Aang is using is very similar. I do have one question.
Like hiding.
Yeah, I do have one question. So like they're asleep and like they wake up and it's like, I don't know, the glint of Sparky Boo Man's arm. Like it's like, yeah. And Aang like looks up and like Aang almost reacts before Sparky Boo Man does anything. So I think Aang has actually met somebody who is a combustion bender before.
Really?
Yeah, because there's like he's looking at him and then it's like he sees the tattoo and he's like he's already like he's like I can't remember how he blocks it. I can't remember if he uses the water from like the lake or if he uses air to like deflect it. But if you go back and you watch it, like Aang is reacting way before.
Yeah.
Oh, Toph wakes up. She's like, there's like a metal man coming our way. That's how they wake up. Toph. Yeah. Sorry.
And then he's like sitting there and they look up and the glint is in his eye and then immediately like, but they make a big point of him going and inhaling deeply. And I think maybe Aang as an airbender might have sensed that. Like he's gearing up to do something. Let me just shield.
It could be. But also like even in that GIF that you just had up, like Aang is like
find it.
already bending the air around like the point that Combustion Man is like focusing on. And so it's just like the way that Aang is able to fight and hold his own just seems really like he just knows this type of bending for whatever reason. Not himself, but like I don't know.
It is, yeah, to know that you can do that safely. Because that's a pretty big gamble if you're Aang.
Yeah.
So I like that idea though, that he has met another combustion bender before.
And I don't think that he's like battled it before, but I feel like the monks, because it's such like an advanced form of bending. it kind of like goes back to like in Legends of Korra where Zahir is like talking about flying and like what is it like I can't even remember the guru's name. He says it so many times and I can't remember it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like combustion bending is almost like that same level of like it's almost like theorized or whatever and stuff like that. And so Aang just I don't know. I just feel like because even like when he comes back to Appa, doesn't he say something along the lines of like a combustion bender or something? Or no?
I thought that was maybe Sokka. Maybe for watching this episode less than 30 minutes ago, I am not, or well, less than an hour ago, not with it. Yeah, well, because he jumps up and he's like, "I'm okay," and she's like, "How did they find us?" And then, yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't
Don
know.
Promise says, I mean, I know they have to learn to use their powers, but sometimes before you learn to walk, you may take a step without instructions. So, yeah, maybe it's just like people have found power or something, or I like having the idea that it's a super advanced form or something. And also, yeah, you'd think that the Fire Nation would be bold because they could burn their hair every now and again. Occupational hazards. Fire Nation OSHA has a migraine every day.
The department is no longer existent.
Yeah, Fire Lord was. I was like, you know what? We're wasting money.
We're wasting money.
Oh goodness.
That was
but
like
yeah,
the one good thing that he like gave people a tax break on.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I just noticed. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess he does have 5 toes. I thought that was like baby pinky, baby pinky. Does Aang have different toes?
Oh god.
No, we're good. We're good. It's like in Good Omens. How many nipples have you got? And now you understand that reference. Yeah, the Fire Nation never uses hairspray. Correct. Is there anything else with this episode? I feel like it's very A story or A plot, B plot.
Yeah, definitely. I will say that the I don't know if you picked up on this, but the 2 like popular guys that are throwing the party.
Oh yeah.
Their dad is the admiral that's on vacation in episode 1.
No.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
way.
because they're like Admiral Chan has been on vacation for, 8 weeks on Ember Island.
Oh my
And then they're like, "Yeah, my
gosh.
dad's like an important admiral and stuff like that." And they have the same name.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good continuity right there.
What a callback.
Yes. I love it. Oh, the writers. I feel like they have like just sticky notes of characters that they can tie in. They're like, oh yeah, children, uncle, related.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, I think that should cover it.
Yeah.
To the theories.
All right.
I should have a transition for that. I could make a video just.
Okay, so I have like it's not a full-blown theory. It's just my thought. I think Ozai sends them away because he's meeting with his advisors about the Day of Black Sun. And he's not 100% trusting of Zuko.
Ooh.
So again, it's just like he's getting rid of Zuko, and instead of like causing more of an issue, he's like, I'll also just get rid of Azula.
Yeah, because I mean, what parents know that kids talk, so it's like,
might
as well just get rid of them. Don't cue them in or clue them in.
Yeah. Plus, like, I wonder if Ozai like sees through the lie that Azula says that Zuko killed the Avatar, and so now
Zuko's a horrible liar. He's like,
yeah. So
you.
So it's just like I wonder if he's also questioning Azula, or maybe he's just sensing that Azula is just off.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, there wasn't much there, but that was just a thought that I had. And then the main theory, the main bread and butter, is Lo and Lee.
Yes.
So the theory is that they are the daughters of Sozin. So Sozin has son is Fire Lord Azulon, which is Zuko and Azula's grandfather. So that would make these their great aunts. And the reason why people think this is because Lee and Lo are Azula's firebending masters, but they're not firebenders.
Oh.
And so they're like, why are non-firebenders teaching Azula?
Oh,
And so then they
okay.
go a step further and like, okay, they're non-benders, and so instead of being like, which is just like an embarrassment for like the royal family.
Yeah, I'm
But
like,
they're
Sozin would be
still,
angry.
yeah, they're still part of the lineage, so they just get like kept in the family here and there. And so like they don't have to like really do anything. They just kind of like get handouts and stuff like that. And
Beach
that's
house
why
here, beach house
they
there.
have a beach house on Ember Island, and that's why they stay with them, is because they're technically
Yeah.
related. And then that's also why they are Azula's firebending masters, is because even though they're not firebenders, they're still part of like the royal family to a degree. So then like they can help teach her the histories and
Well, they
stuff
grew
like
up
that.
surrounded by it then.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I like that theory, and I accept it as canon. Like, full on, no wiggle room, that has to be it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Because
so
someone just sends the kids away to go and stay there.
They are the non-bending daughters of Fire Lord Sozin.
Well, and the genetics work out, like, in their dancing picture, they look like Azula, so...
That was also part of it too. They were like when they were younger, they looked a lot like Azula.
Mhm. I love it. Awesome. Are there any more theories?
No, like this episode's so straightforward.
Yeah, true. There's not much to dig into. Well, in that case, I actually had plenty of fan art, surprisingly. So we'll jump into that. Also, Time Prophet says there must be lots of non-benders, but they are not so interesting. Yeah, that's true. I feel like it's kind of like quirks. A lot of people have it, but some people don't. So, yeah. Well, and quirks being My Hero Academia quirks, not I'm quirky. But to the fan
like
art.
Universal quirks, is that what they're called?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Those.
I was like,
Make us
oh man, I went in with such confidence, and that's not what they're called.
But that's how you be that's how you science. You just have to have confidence.
Just go in with confidence.
Oh yes, but starting out, the Shino Basena, I'm gonna mess up their name. I already did, but can't take it back now. They did a nice job of recreating that last still image where they're all just like, okay, yay, we're happy. So I love when people interpret like scenes in their own style. And then, speaking of their own style, this is so good. If this was in front of me at a Comic-Con, I would buy it. I'd buy 4. Wow. I'd ship one to you, one to me, and then have 2 as a backup in case there was anything that that happened. But breaking it down. Okay, so first off,
I'm in shock. I'm in shock.
Do we go full screen? There we go. Okay, you have Azula, not even facing anyone. Ty Lee, May, Zuko. The angst and strife mirrored so perfectly with their outward personas at the beach. Just, I wish I knew what those words were. And I wish there was a watermark because I could not find the artist.
I mean, this pretty much fixes the episode for me.
Really? Oh, I really need to find the artist now.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
It really is. So if I'm ever at a Comic-Con and I see this, I will extend gratitude from all of us. Because this, I'm keeping it. I have a folder that says must keep OBL. And so I may or may not try to get a poster of it. There you go. Perhaps the artist's name is in Chinese. I need to find someone who reads Chinese because I have no clue. But yes, brilliant artistry in that. And the colors are just so vibrant and Amazing. Anyway, we have to switch over from fan art to cosplay, which is one and the same for most. There are so many people who cosplay this at the beach. You guys have no idea how many I had to filter through. Like, I wish I had the confidence to do a beach photo shoot as the gang or the Zang.
The Zang.
Because I mean, it's not just one; it's more than one, and they're really good at it. This one is Oscar. You can find them online, and there are props that are involved. It's not just them in their beach outfits. Like this May has a very nice parasol, a very good wig. The one that stood out to me the most, though, is the Zuko one, because other than the flip flops, like look at that fire.
Yep.
He made his own. I wish I could pull that off, but if I did, I'd be arrested for public indecency. So, one cosplay I will never be able to have, sadly. But yes, the cosplays, go and look for yourself, because otherwise we'd be here for another hour. Oh, there we go. The top Chinese word means fire. The Chinese word for fire actually looks like a fire. My boss used to be Chinese. Wait. Your boss used to be Chinese and he changed to a different one? Or your boss is Chinese and you changed bosses?
The English language.
It's delightful. Yeah, okay, so that is fire. I'll just feed it to like ChatGPT and be like, hey, what does this mean? Find the original source image. That'd be a good application of AI for once. Okay, now you changed jobs. Gotta make sure. But yes, easy for me, winner. As much as I love cosplay, this is the top. One of the top fan arts that I think I have for the entire series, really, just because of how beautifully toned it is. It's true. In the day, they were all happy and at the beach and confident, and then night rolls around and our demons come out to play.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Well, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
I think we got everything. Again, like you said, it's a pretty cut and dry episode.
It is.
Next up, it's
the Fire Lord and the Avatar.
Oh,
not a cut and dry episode. Not a cut and dry episode.
It stole all of the intricacies from this episode.
We've been saving it up.
Yes. Oh my word, that's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be a good one.
I will be getting back from Columbus earlier that Monday, so we should be able to stream. Because this week is the big con for me. I've been to cons for the last 5 weeks, I want to say, or something like that. I get to meet the people who are really nice to me after my car crash, that are on the Star Trek production team. So one of them, he's Terry Metalis. He's a producer of executive producer, I think, of Star Trek Picard season 3 and hopefully Star Trek Legacy. And then Todd Stashwick, who was one of my favorite characters. He acted as one of the favorite characters from that season. I will never forget, and I want to put this on the internet so everyone has a record of it, how nice he was. After the car crash, I had a bunch of Star Trek fans, actors reach out, and people from the show. And then 6 weeks later, Todd Stashwick just tweeted out, how's @weather_Katie doing? Not a DM, not anything. He just put it out into the universe. Aww. And it was just the sweetest thing, because even no one at my station cared how I was after the car crash. Then no one asked. But it's like, this random guy from Hollywood did. And so just know that Todd Stashwick is a gem of a human being. And I get to meet him in person. And the dude who played Steve on Blue's Clues.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's go.
If you have a moment, I want to show you the guest list. This is going to be a little tiny detour, everyone. Oh, I think this is the author. Ooh, who is it?
How?
So I need to reach out to them and buy a print. And also how.
Teach us your way.
I need to know there, Marcus Aurelius. But yes, the guest list is probably the best one I've seen for any con ever. And I've been to San Diego Comic-Con. Granted, it was during the strike. But here's what we have. We have... Well, shout out the names as you see them. I'll just name the ones that I know of. William Shatner, because that man is everywhere. Mike Tyson. next to William Shatner. You got Ron Perlman, you got Amanda from The Amanda Show. Then we go to The Mandalorian, and the epic next to that is that. Michael Rooker's back, and Sean Gunn. You go in, there's Walter Koenig, Jonathan Frakes, Brent Spiner, Denise Crosby, Terry Farrell, Nana Visitor, Terry Metalis, and Todd Stashwick, and Evan Evagora. Evagora? I messed it up. Those are all Star Trek people. Every single one of them. And then you keep going, and where'd it go? Jeffrey Combs, also Star Trek. Where'd you go? Oh yeah, the kid from Home Improvement's gonna be there. The guy who voiced the kid in Kim Possible.
Ron. I can't believe you don't know his name. His name is
I just know the name
Ron Stoppable.
Well, then we have Prince Humperdinck from The Princess Bride, and also Jack Skellington, but mostly Prince Humperdinck. There's Steve, and then we have James from Impractical Jokers, and then we have Mara Wilson, which everyone knows her from that one movie she did. Madeline, was it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, everyone except for you and me, and it's on there. Matilda, there it is, and Mrs.
Oh,
Doubtfire.
okay.
She's the girl in Mrs. Doubtfire.
I was gonna say she looks like the little girl from Mrs. Doubtfire to me, but I don't know.
Who would have thought? No, but she was also the daughter of one of the main characters on Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Which, did I ever have that fever dream movie night with you, Brandi? Or did I have that? I had that with Amanda and a couple other people at Valpo. I forced everyone to go back and rewatch that movie.
I mean, I've seen the movie.
Okay, she's the girl who goes to Sodor, and her grandpa is the one who had Lady.
Okay, I mean, it's been a couple years, you know.
Hold on.
It's been a while.
The Magic Railroad. There it is. It was made in 2000.
I love how this has gone 10 more minutes.
I'm so sorry, everyone. It had to be done. There it is. Okay, this one. There it is. That's your grandpa.
Yeah, no, I know. I just remember the ending scene with that claw and how anxiety-inducing it is.
Yes!
That's all I have. That's all I have.
Pinchy's hungry. My brother still torments me with that to this day. He'll come up to me, he'll just be like, Pinchy's hungry. It had Alec Baldwin in it, and he casually flipped off every child in the audience when he was trying to grab this wrench that was on Pinchy's claw. We're going to do a rewatch.
I was going to say, we might have to do a rewatch.
We're going to do a welcome to our cult on this. Thomas and the Magic freaking Railroad.
Let's go.
Oh, here we go. The chat has been having conversation this whole time. I'm sorry. Okay. They don't do cons in Britain because it rains too much. You guys should have some. Build an indoor space. I'd be going to see Emily Swallow for Supernatural. Yes. I should tell Jillian. She could come there. Where's William Shatner? GalaxyCon Columbus. Humperdinck was in DS9. What? I'm looking that up because I've already taken you guys 10 minutes over time, but I'm looking that up. Probably. Sodar didn't exist when I used to read Thomas and the Tank Engine books when I was young. I'm telling you, Thomas, it needs a revival. We need more. Okay, there we go. Rapunzel. A couple of the symbols on the fan art are Japanese. So Google image search's direct translation says it is Hai no Maki Dao Sunahama, meaning fire, volume, sandy beach. I just need context from someone fluent.
If some of the symbols are Japanese, I'll send it to my brother.
There we go. We'll find this out and we'll get back on it.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah. I know there are some big cons. There's Edinburgh Con, and then there's a couple in London. And you did say the first was fire. True. But yeah, check out some big cons. There's more exclusive, but you might be able to find some local ones too over on your side of the pond. Okay, I think that's it. The manic energy is receding back into my body. But yeah. All right. Next up, the Avatar and the Fire Lord.
The Avatar and the
Or
Fire
some
Lord.
dyslexic mix of the two.
Or the Fire Lord and the Avatar. I don't know. Which
That
one? Something like that. I don't know. You could be
Well,
right.
hopefully we'll see you all there again. Thank you to Louise X. Sparrow, Rapunzel. We have Time Prophet. We also have Marcus Aurelius telling us the voodoo ways of getting things to translate, apparently. Who else did we have pop in here? Louise X. Sparrow, I already talked about you. Corin Cochran, that was it. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. We'll see you again, hopefully next week, as long as the weather holds. And so does my sanity. Okay, bye.